G'day guys, welcome to our brand new video series, How to Play the Club Pro Way. My name is Danny Bird and this is your director of golf, Angus Porter. So we're going to be playing the first 3 holes in today's video and we're going to talk you through how we would go about playing it. So here we are at the first hole. It's a little bit of breeze interface. We haven't warmed up, so it's straight to the first tee, like many of our viewers will go straight to the tee block. What do you do? What sort of club selection do you go through? And talk through your process, mate.
Yeah, obviously being first swing of the day, everything's not really quite warmed up. My tendency is to then hit it a little bit more right to left than what I normally would. So I'm actually just going back to a 6-iron. I don't mind being a little bit shorter off this tee, having a full shot in. It's just really opening up the fairway to its widest part for me, leave me a little bit longer in, but it's going to get me safe off the first tee. Let that body loosen up a little bit.
All right, let's see. Yeah, nicely done.
All right, Danny, I guess what's your play off the tee? What's your tendencies when you've not warmed up?
So when I haven't warmed up, I tend to have the lower body just kind of stops, like many players. It just stiffens up, the arms take over, the hands get active, and I end up having a big pull to the left. That being said, I also don't hit it long enough to be able to justify hitting a 6-iron off the tee like yourself, so I'm going to use my 3-iron. So it's the biggest head in the bag. It's the easiest club for me to hit beyond hitting driver. I'm going to take my start line at the little green electrical box up in the distance there. That's the line. And just try, the first one for me is just a nice smooth swing. Probably the big thing is I don't need to, I take enough club to make sure I don't have to hit it overly hard. Just get, as you said, just get that body nice and loose.
Yeah, nice, beauty there. All right, we're underway. Both hit a fairway. Who would have thought?
Okay, so as you said, so you've hit 6-iron off the tee, a little bit further back, nice full shot. How far do you have in?
I've got 126 metres to the back yellow pin. Obviously, we don't really want to go long. There's a little bit of breeze into my face here, so pitching wedge goes 125, max out. So obviously, second swing of the day, a little bit of wind. I'm just going to go 9-iron, put a nice smooth swing on it, and it should be pretty well perfect.
So before you hit that, you actually made a really good point there, something that the viewers will probably benefit from. You're not going to try to hit the club harder, you're actually going to swing a little bit smoother.
Yeah, I just find it's definitely easier to control once I'm in here. Margin for error is obviously a lot less.
I think that's great for the viewer to sort of understand that mindset when playing these shots.
Just holding a little fade in there nicely. Middle of the green, happy days. All right, Danny, so in the absolute mayor's office here, 94 metres, green light special, isn't it?
100%, yeah. So I've grabbed my 56 degrees. So if I hit my 56 traditionally, it would go about 100 metres. So just having that little bit of breeze, as you noted earlier, this should be able to just make a nice full swing. It's nothing special. I don't have to hit it hard. I can just make a nice full swing.
Lovely. Pretty good. Yeah, golf shot there.
Take that one. So one of the things that I probably would note, because obviously the floor's a little bit wet today, I just move the golf ball a fraction back in the stance, especially with the wedges, because they have a tendency, obviously, you dig down and they are moving down a little bit deeper than, say, 7-iron. So just moving it like a centimetre or so back, half centimetre, just I feel like makes a bit of a cleaner contact.
Perfect.
All right, so what we got, about 20-ish feet?
Yeah, 20-ish feet, all just about speed here. I just don't want a little tester coming back first hole of the day. Slightly uphill, slightly left to right. Just put a good stroke on it. Yeah, a little bit short and right, but I'll take 4 to start the day. Nice birdie.
Yeah, as we said, like just for having just a nice full number in, and importantly, you know, both getting off to a pretty solid start. Just you playing the club that best suited your game, and obviously mine was a completely different club, but just playing what suited. I don't like either one of us try to overhit any of those shots. Probably quite important for first swings of the day. Don't try to overplay your hand.
Definitely. Just play within your means. All right, Danny, here on the second hole, we've got 140 metres to a front blue pin just over the bunker. Talk us through what you're thinking.
So, first of all, we've got a little bit of breeze up there. We know that, number one was back into breeze, so the angle that we are here, it's going to become a little bit off the right-hand side for me. The flag being on the left-hand side for me, and I feel like for many players, is just a sucker flag. There's a big old bunker in front. While the bunker doesn't present a great challenge to many players, there's certainly going to be quite a few that are going to struggle. So I'm going to take it to the right side of the green. So there's a nice big gap between the right fringe and that bunker at the short side there. I've grabbed a 7-iron. So again, clubbing up, one of those where the danger's short, not long. So it makes more sense for me to take enough clubs to go a little bit longer. I'm just going to play a nice, smooth little 7-iron, and hopefully the wind's going to help me out and move it back.
Beautiful. Or just pull it straight at it. Thanks.
He's known for doing that.
Yeah, nice shot there, Danny.
Yeah, look, you've seen me do this a few times and play that. The end product wasn't exactly what I was looking to do, but we will take it. Again, know what my tendencies are with the lower body not moving. It's safer for me to aim to the right and get away with that little pull. So for yourself, what are you thinking? What club have you got in hand?
Yeah, so I'm almost opposite to you, Danny. I actually don't like the right miss on this hole. I much prefer for me to go straight at it. And I find if I hit the left one, I actually think for me personally is an easier chip. So I'm just thinking straight at it. 145 is my 9-iron, so 140, tiny bit of breeze. Absolutely perfect number, and I'm just going to go straight at it. Golf swing. And in true fashion, we've hit it left, but if I know anything, that should hopefully be the easier up and down for me.
So, as you said, over on the left side of the green, traditionally, from my perspective, and I know from many of the viewers, this would be a really tough shot. Okay, it's really into the grain. We've got 15 or so feet of fringe to work with, and then we're onto the green, and we know that the ball's going to release it. So, mate, talk me through how you're going to play this shot.
Yeah, so obviously I didn't really know where my ball was coming up. I brought up a 9-iron for kind of a more bump and run shot, just more if I was in a little closer and on the short stuff. Obviously being back here in the rough with quite a bit of fairway to carry, kind of takes that option out of play for me. So straight away, I'm just going to throw 9-iron over there with my putter. And the other club I brought up is my sand wedge, which for me, I do the majority of my chipping with, really quite comfortable with.
So just talk us through your technique. Obviously, as I said, it's into grain. So something a lot of golf players struggle with, especially here.
Yeah, so I find, obviously into the grain, there's two ways that I like to play it. I'll either go a little bit back in my stance, and really all I'm focusing on is just trying to get ball and then grass. So the reason I want the ball and then grass is knowing the club's going to dig in. If I can have the ball already off my face by the time it digs in, perfect. It's not going to affect my strike and my shot. Otherwise, the other option, probably a little bit more fraught with risk. If you're really good at controlling that low point and really just clipping it off the top without almost touching the grass, it could be an option. But I just find the ball and then turf as just a really easy option, especially with plenty of green to work with here. I think that's a play. I'm just going to go a little back in my stance and just think ball and then grass and just let it release up the hill. So
one final thing before you hit the shot. As a club professional, what are your level of expectation here? Like what would you consider to be a good outcome?
Yeah, my standards are quite high, so I would like this within about 3 to 4 feet to give myself a real good chance of making up.
And some of the students you've worked with, obviously you're talking like if you got a 10 or 12 handicap, what would be a good outcome? If you get it within 3 metres up on the green, give yourself a putt at par. The main thing is you just want to putt. You don't want to be chipping again. So just make sure you're giving yourself a putt for your next one. Get in the hole. I'll take that one. All right, let me just grab that flag for you. Wouldn't want the ball ricocheting out on you. Yeah, great up and down there, mate. Nice easy par. We'll see Danny. Put the pressure on. Talk us through, Danny. You're just off the green there. Got about 30 feet. What are you thinking there? So first thing that I did was just behind the camera there. I have a little look at the reed, and as I'm walking up, I'm just checking any potential other breaks that we have. Look, I'm pretty close to the green, so the fringe won't play a huge factor in that. Yep. But the main thing from here, from 30 feet, is we're just trying to two-putt it, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, just speed. Anything close is good. And we're just trying to avoid, making a real silly mistake, given that we've done what we feel the hard part is and get the ball this, up onto the green on a relatively tricky pin location.
Speed's pretty good, just broke off a little bit more to the right, but
Yeah,
all in all, pretty good.
Little kick off the fringe there.
Little tester for the par.
Yeah, so these are the ones where we often see some really silly, costly errors.
So are you running through kind of a routine here, or are you just stepping in, hitting it? What's your thoughts?
Look, I don't want to be that guy that's going to slow the round down completely. But at the same time, I feel like you still have to give it the respect it deserves.
Yeah.
I may not read every single angle of this particular putt here. We just go through the same sort of routine with the 3 strokes that I make. Set the face up square and hit.
Very good, nice 3.
Yeah, so like just trying to avoid that silly mistake. You see guys come up here and they just kind of whack, and before you know it, it's a drop shot, puts you in a bad frame of mind.
Yeah,
so a couple of good 3s there, mate. So as we're driving up to the next tee here, you just made a really great comment walking off the last green. So new glove. Talk me through the process of this new glove.
Yeah, as the glove kind of starts to get older, I just find it gets a little bit slippery and my hands just almost start to slip a little bit, and I feel like I lose control of what the face is doing through the ball. And then my hands kind of have to make up for that, and it's a really uncomfortable feeling. So I've just pulled out a nice fresh new glove, obviously under $30, and straight away I already feel like I've got more control over the club face. Just gives me confidence.
Perfect.
All right, so we're on the 3rd hole here at Carbrook, playing roughly 380 metres here from the blue tees. Danny, talk us through your play.
So this 3 is a long hole, so I'm going to try to get the maximum out of it that I can. I also know that for myself, that where that driver, and I'm going to hit driver, where that's going to land, that's the widest point down there in the fairway. So I give myself the best opportunity to hit the fairway. I have toyed in the past with other options, but I just find that hitting my driver, it's comfortable. I have a big landing spot, and I can just make a nice full swing at it.
That's it.
One of the things that I've been working on lately as well, which is quite been interesting, is when I do play, try to aim more central with the driver. When I, in the past, have traditionally aimed for the right side, try to draw it, I tend to get that little block happening. Whereas, yes, I might have a very small 2-way miss, but aiming straight tends to help me out. And if I hit it good, then I should hit the middle of the fairway.
Perfect advice. Just aim for a straight, aim for your good one. Yeah, a little pull, but no damage done. Just up that left rough line. Safe as.
Yep. Again, playing for the, what my bad shot tendency tends to be, which is that little hook. So again, I give myself a little bit of space. So, all right, onto a proper golfer here. So you've opted for your hybrid?
Yeah, my 3 hybrid. So again, I'm 2 holes in. I haven't warmed up. I'm still just kind of easing into my round here at this point. I struggle a little bit with driver. Happy to say that. Which is why I just go back to something a bit more comfortable till I've got a few more swings under my belt. And then I'll start pulling driver as we progress into the round. So I've just got hybrid. Wind's a little bit off my right. Just going to aim at the fairway bunkers and hit the little draw back up the fairway. Oh, done it again. Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be all right.
Hit that one a little bit left. Hope we get lucky.
Okay, so look, you got away with it.
Got lucky.
Yes, the wind kind of exaggerated it a little bit and pushed it a little bit further over than it perhaps should have ended up, but it has.
And again, that's why we take the club for me that was shorter and a bit more comfortable, because could you imagine where driver would have gone with that golf swing? So,
but talk me through this. Okay, so you've hit the little hooker, which you sometimes get. What's your thought process now? So with the rest of the round coming up, is that something that we're going to try to correct, or?
Yeah, so for me, obviously, I'm quite a feel-based player, so I've spent pretty well my whole life working on my golf swing myself. So I know that my hooky one, I kind of get a little stuck and then just kind of flip and move it out to the right. So for the rest of the round, I might feel like it's a bit more of a fade, kind of swing left swing to help counter that. As we go throughout the round, we'll just try and correct that on the fly.
Okay, so how far do we have?
I've got 130 metres. Obviously, ball's down in the rough here. Wind's maybe a little down off my right on this angle. and I think it's going to jump a little bit. So I've just got pitching wedge, which is going to go 125. If I can get this to land on the front of the green, it should run up there.
Yeah, that's a solid strike there, mate.
It's just going to run through the back, but pretty good.
Yeah, something I suppose that some of the members would experience. You hit that shot, a little bit extra release. Obviously, it's hard to
judge out of that.
But again, the better shot here is towards the back edge of the green rather than being short.
Yep, perfect.
Okay, so interestingly, after the tee shot, we both thought it was a lot further left than it actually ended up. Like, it's here in the edge, actually in a pretty good spot.
Absolutely
like, we're talking 10 metres off the centre of the fairway.
Yeah.
So, again, the reason why I play my driver, it's the widest spot. It gives me a little bit more room. So, we got 94 metres. Well, we know from the first hole that was the sand iron.
Yep.
The only little correction or change we're going to make here, the wind's kind of helping.
Correct.
So, we're just going to play a little bit of a smoother swing. So, I like to kind of go a little bit slow with the swing rather than shorten up the swing. Like I've always struggled with trying to sort of half the swing here. So
yeah, just smooth it out.
Exactly right. I can't swing any smoother.
Number. Let's throw in darts again.
So,
nice shot.
Okay, so you've hit your golf shot over the green, and from as obviously both us being coaches, one of the things that I'm sure we speak about is what you would like to talk to the viewers about.
Yeah, so I see a lot of people just walk up to the green with one club. Often it's not the right one. Oh, I can't be bothered walking back, so we'll just hit this one. So I just like to walk up with a little selection just as a standard. So here I've got 9-iron for like a bump and run, pitching wedge for still a bump and run, but maybe a bit more stopping, and then my 56, which is generally my chipping club as well.
So giving yourself some variety for the shot type. So how are you going to figure out what club to use? Obviously, you've got your selection, and sometimes that can be daunting for players. So.
Yeah, so straight away, obviously, putter, there's just a bit too much fringe for me here, so gone. Next, maybe 9-iron for a bump and run. I'm just not comfortable in landing it over the fringe and stopping it before the pin, so gone. Now, so we're pretty well down to 46, which is pitching wedge and sand wedge. Sand wedge, I think, is just a bit too much loft for this shot. I might just have to fly it too far, a bit too much risk. Easy enough shot, but maybe not the easiest, so gone. So that leaves me with my pitching wedge, and I just think it's perfect for me to land it just onto the green, and it'll run out the rest of the way. So this is just that kind of bump and run, kind of land it just on, and let the ground do the work. Green's just a little bit soft, but all in all, not a bad shot.
8 or so feet, we're going to take the flag out for you. I know you like to have the pin taken away.
Yeah, I'm just saying, little right to left here. Nothing too crazy. Try and save that par. Oh, that's such a weak putt. Green's just a little bit slower, obviously. We haven't played in about a month, so it might just take us a few hours to get used to the speed, but pretty soft bogey in the end. But Danny's got his little putt for a birdie.
So yeah, that 94 seems to be a pretty good number for the 56 at the moment. So again, much like that last hole, really just try to give the putt the respect that it deserves.
Beautiful.
So a nice
birdie.
easy 3. Guys, we thank you for taking the time to watch today's video, and we do hope that you found the information useful. Please don't forget to subscribe to the Carbrook Golf Club YouTube channel, because we are going to be releasing a full series. We go through the whole golf course. Gus, obviously we've been closed for a month, so what sort of impact does that have for a player's game? Yeah,
obviously, I think the first thing that goes for most players, obviously short game putting. You just lose that little bit of feel that you would have had if you are playing regularly. Obviously the full swing, you can get back into it pretty quick, into the groove, but yeah, definitely that short game, just lose a little bit of your sharpness more than anything.
So definitely when you're getting back into it, maybe focus and prioritise a bit more time on that short game area.
Yeah, definitely. I generally, if I'm coming back into the game after a little bit of a break, I go straight to the chipping green, putting green, just work on those fundamentals.
Guys, we'll be releasing holes 4, 5 and 6 in the short while, so make sure you have subscribed. Until then, happy golfing, guys.
See you later.